Hey everyone, this is Steve Good on the Coin Chat, back once again with my good old friend
Yuri Cataldo. Thanks for that introduction, Steve.
You forgot your name.
That's all right. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, no problem. So today, there's a bit of an event going on, the Bitcoin Cash fork coming up next week, Wednesday the 15th. So first and foremost, a lot of people have been asking us, how do you fork Bitcoin Cash? How do you make sure you've got your private keys if you want to do it by hand, or where do you put your coins? So I think we should just jump right in and help people make sure they know exactly what they need to do, because of course, if it's free money, why not take it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can sort of talk at the end a little bit about the backstory about why is this Bitcoin Cash fork occurring, for those who are interested and want to hang around and hear the end of the story. But I thought let's jump in first and just tell people how to, because everyone kind of wants to know what to do. So
sure, yeah. Do you want to cover then the more, because you discovered a more technical way to do it.
Okay, so a quick backstory is that, some friends of mine for some time and I have all been trying to figure out what's the easiest way to take the mnemonic phrase, which is, cat, dog, house, cartel, whatever, the string of words, and to convert that into recovering your private key in Bitcoin Cash. And remarkably, it is just like really, really poorly documented out there. And there are a number of wallet programs that store both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash because of their historical relationship, being that Bitcoin Cash came from Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to actually, and some of the wallet addresses I was going to say, so some of the wallet companies, they give you the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin private key, they give you the mnemonic phrase, but they don't tell you the Bitcoin Cash private key. And that makes it very difficult if you want to keep your coin safe because you don't have the key. It's almost like they're locking it down from you, but they're not, because you just have to know the secret that I'm going to tell everybody today, which is really cool. And I'm super excited about it because it's taken me ages to figure this out. And it shouldn't be this hard. It's actually really stupidly simple, but unless someone tells you, you don't know. So I'm going to show you. I'm excited.
Perfect.
Cool. So I'm going to jump right in and I'm just going to show you straight away what to do because it's cool. Right. So I'm going to start off by showing you the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin block explorer. So I'm looking at explorer.bitcoin.com/BCH for Bitcoin Cash. And it's an explorer that gives you both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash wallets and shows you them related together. So I'm going to actually show you. So I took and I created, on behalf of the Coin Chat followers, a Bitcoin account, which I will never use again, unless you guys want to send us money, but the private keys are going to get shown anyway, so it'll probably get stolen. So don't do that. But I'm going to just show you guys what to do. So I created a Bitcoin Cash wallet address, which I'm going to pop into the screen here. Now, that Bitcoin Cash wallet address, I have that wallet address, and I have the Bitcoin Cash. This is a theoretical thing here. So I have the Bitcoin Cash sitting in the same wallet software that has my Bitcoin. And I can get the private keys for my Bitcoin, but I don't know what the private key is for my Bitcoin Cash. And that's been driving me crazy. So here's what I did. I go to this explorer.bitcoin.com. I have put in my my Bitcoin Cash address, which is this QR7YMU blah, 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 Bitcoin Cash address. And on this particular website, explorer.bitcoin.com, they give me my legacy address, which is my Bitcoin address. Great. Now I actually have a relationship between the two. This is the Bitcoin Cash address, QR7. Here's my legacy address, 1Q14ES. Now, all I need to do, and this sounds like the hard part, but actually this is the easy part, I need to find out what the private key is for my Bitcoin Cash address based on the address of my Bitcoin. Okay. Now I already know my mnemonic phrase for my Bitcoin. So all I need to do is you go to a program which is called BIP39, which is B as in boy, I as in indigo, P as in Paul, BIP 39. I have downloaded this to my PC because if I do this on the online version, well, it's kind of exposed publicly and that's not very smart. So I've downloaded this version BIP39 onto my PC. So it's nice and simple for me just to look at it on the screen. What I did was I took the mnemonic phrase that came from my Bitcoin wallet, where my Bitcoin Cash is also sitting, and I just put the words in here. And then what it does is down below, when you scroll down, it gives you all of the addresses. These addresses listed here are all of my, where it says address, are my Bitcoin addresses.
Okay.
Okay. So what you'll see is if you scroll down through the list, I see 1K, then I see 12, 1A, 1N. These are all the different rows of Bitcoin. And eventually I come to one called 1Q14ES. Hey,
yes.
Now that's interesting because I remember seeing that wallet address over here on Bitcoin Cash because it's the corresponding address, because these two blockchains were once together and now they're separated. So this is great because guess what I know now? If I know that the 1Q14ES address is actually associated directly with my QR7YMU Bitcoin Cash address, guess what I know? The private key.
You're asking.
The private.
Asking me a rhetorical question. Sorry.
Right.
Yes, you know your private key.
That's right. And what you'll see is that on this screen, I've got my wallet address here for Bitcoin, which is the 1Q1ES whatever, and all the way over to the right side, I've got the private key, and there it's showing me a private key, L1PN. And like I said, I'm not ever going to use this, anybody. So please don't think you're going to steal from me, because I'm not ever going to use this address again. I created it just for the show. It's a one-off.
Perfect.
And it's gone after this. So thank you for trying. No trolls, please.
Yes.
So this private key literally is the same private key. So I now have the private key just by taking a mnemonic phrase and taking my Bitcoin Cash and putting it into the Bitcoin Blockchain Explorer. Into the Blockchain Explorer, I have the private key I need. Now, what'll happen is when the fork occurs, you need the private key because the association between Bitcoin Cash and the next forked coin will be based upon, again, the same blockchain, and again, based on the same private keys that start with, and then they branch off later on. Okay. So what you typically do at this point, and we can't do it yet because the coin hasn't forked, is you would go and download the software from the forked version, which is called Bitcoin Sv, which Sv stands for what again? With Satoshi?
Satoshi's version.
Satoshi's version, right, of course, because you have to have another one. It's not called Bitcoin Latina this time. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
So I would go to the Bitcoin Sv website. I would download their wallet software, and in their software, there will be a place where it says import your coins. So I will and they'll give instructions on their website at some point to do this. So I will put the private keys in on my PC privately, just on my own PC, away from prying eyes, and it will correspondingly give me the equal value of Bitcoin Cash, of which I have 0, but if I had something like 1, then I would get 1 of the Bitcoin SV coin show up into that wallet, and now I would have forked the coin and done it in a very simple, easy way. So hopefully, for someone as, let's say, less technical as you, Yuri, what do you think? Is that easy, complicated, helpful? What do you think?
So very, very helpful. Yes, and especially that you have visually shown it. It's actually a lot easier than when we were before the show talking about it and hearing you describe it.
I lost myself trying to explain it to you, but it's just so.
I was like, please write this down. So yes, very easy to follow.
I will put the 2 URLs into YouTube. I will also put a blog together over the next day or so. I'll do it as quickly as I can. I'll put the blog up onto the coinchat.net and into our blog section of the website. So I will put up an article there. I will try to put some screenshots in there and do it as quickly as I can so people can actually see visually what I just showed here. So anybody listening on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, what have you, or coming through any of the other channels where our show is being broadcast, then by all means, just check it out on the coinchat.net, and there will be a blog there on Bitcoin Cash and how to claim your private keys if you're struggling to gain access to them. Because as I say, a lot of wallets, unfortunately, they're giving the Bitcoin wallet address, they give a mnemonic phrase, and that's not always helpful. So it's good to have it anyway because it's better for you to have it. But then remember, don't ever give them out. These are your keys to your house, and you don't want to invite in the neighbors and their strange cats.
Right, exactly. especially the cats.
So I just told you the really secure, really sort of ultimate crypto, what crypto people who are really into crypto would say, this is the way you're supposed to do it. But now, of course, Yuri, because we know how important it is for everybody else who doesn't want to be too techie. So I'm going to give you a chance now to tell me, what do I do to back up my Bitcoin Cash and to retrieve my coins for fork for a layman's perspective?
Sure. So the layman's way to do it is to just put it on an exchange if you trust the exchange. And there are a number of exchanges as of yesterday who have come out and said whether or not they will support it or basically have not issued a statement. So I'll give you a list. This is as of yesterday. As of recording this is November 8th. As November 8th, these exchanges have said they will support the forks. So OKEX, they're going to support it. Bitforex, Binance, Upbit, Coinbase Pro, BitBank, CoinSuper. Okay. Those for sure have confirmed support. And Ledger Wallet they've come out and said they're reviewing it right now. So they potentially could support what's happening. Coinbase has come out and said, in the unlikely event that multiple viable change persist after the fork, Coinbase will ensure that customers have access to their funds on each chain.
Oh, interesting. So they're actually going to do the fork and give you the coins this time, where in past situations, if you had Bitcoin or Ether and they forked or other coins, they didn't give you the forked coins and they're sitting on them and you don't have access to them, which is really horrible.
Right. Now, they didn't say how soon that was going to happen. And that's the same thing, a year ago when this first Bitcoin Cash fork happened, because I was using Coinbase at that time. It was like 6 months later they decided to release those.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah. Well, maybe not exactly 6 months. It was a while. It wasn't directly, because then there was a whole thing with maybe Coinbase was actually pumping Bitcoin Cash because they knew when they were going to be released, and suddenly the price spiked. One night it was I remember I was watching it, tweeting you, and I'm like, oh my God, this is manipulation at its best, basically, because it just went way up and crashed.
For everybody watching and listening, so what we're saying to do here is, if you don't want to go through the process that I went through to actually make sure and many of the wallet addresses, by the way, or your wallet programs should already give you access to your private keys anyway. But in the event they don't, you can go through the process that I went through just to make sure you got them. Alternatively, you send your coins on to Binance, CoinSuper, OK Exchange, Coinbase, or a couple of the other ones, which we'll put a link down below in the article. And
we'll put a list.
You just send the coins there, but do not send them later than about, let's say, the 14th, because the fork is on the 15th, and the network could get clogged and it could suddenly become very slow, and you don't want to sit there panicking about where are my coins that I just sent from my wallet to Binance and they're not showing up in time. So whatever you do, if you're planning on participating in the fork just for the sake of getting the extra coins, then send them over the weekend. Send them by Monday. Don't wait to the last minute. It doesn't take very long to do it. You just need to make sure you've got your wallet address for Binance or OK Exchange or Coinbase or whatever. Send them, and then just wait and see what happens. And then when the fork's completed and they've announced what the outcome is, then of course you can then withdraw your original BCH back to wherever you want to put them. And as for the Bitcoin SV coins, well, I don't know where you're going to store them, because there's not many places who've said we have a Bitcoin SV wallet yet. Although I am anticipating that Bitcoin SV will have their own wallet, which is why I've taken the approach that with my very limited supply of BCH that I have, I will just wait and try the private keys game. And Yuri's going to play the Coinbase game, and we're going to see who found it easier.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just see what happens with that one.
So now that kind of course leads to the natural question. So those people who've now figured out how to do the fork, we're probably going to bugger off. So thanks for listening. Yeah. But
thank you.
Actually, it's interesting to ask very quickly, Yuri, why is Bitcoin Cash forking? Because they do a major upgrade every 6 months. And we know that major upgrades are called hard forks, but normally, much like we've seen in Ether, a hard fork just is a major upgrade of software and nothing happens and we carry on as normal. What the hell's going on this time?
Right. What the fork is happening?
What the fork is going on with Bitcoin Cash, and why the fork?
That's right. That's right, and why the fork. And we have in previous episodes covered hard forks and what that really means. And yes, like about a year ago, we had a hard fork of Bitcoin, which gave us Bitcoin Cash. And at that time, that we were told that every 6 months there would be upgrades, and that was part of the the roadmap. So back in May, it went fine. The community seemed happy, and now we're coming up now on the next 6-month point, and there are some developers who are not happy. So the current Bitcoin Cash software client is called Bitcoin ABC, and they have proposed to do including smart contracts in addition to a few other upgrades. And there is a small opposition led by Craig Wright, who claims to be, without proof now, claims to be the Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. So he's an Aussie. You can look him up and read articles about him if you like to. But he has a company called NChain, and he has joined with the mining pool CoinGeek. And CoinGeek controls 15% of all Bitcoin Cash mining. And they have decided to hard fork and develop their own upgrade called Bitcoin SV, or Satoshi's version, because of course
I thought
it is.
Satoshi's version was Bitcoin.
No, this is going to be the hard fork that he's
but I'm saying I thought Satoshi's version
yes.
was Bitcoin. So basically, what you're telling us is that Craig Wright says, actually, I was wrong.
Yes.
So the first version was really not Bitcoin. It was just my first attempt at it. And then Ver and the Bitcoin ABC, the development group, decided to fork the coin to something they thought would be more optimum. And then Craig Wright decided that he was wrong, so we should call him Craig Wrong. And actually, he's decided that the next version of Bitcoin that is really what's supposed to be Bitcoin is going to be called Bitcoin Satoshi's version, which of course is deviating from the original and the second version anyway to a third version of that particular branch, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It sounds to me like a typical crypto play for money, and I'd be very happy if it forks and I can just get out with $1,000 for the coins, or if you have. Well, I think I heard something that they were saying that was I think I read something somewhere that it was like a 6-to-1 ratio. Like you'll get $100 for every $600 coin. So I won't make $1,000, but anyway,
you get something.
No, you might get $100 out of it. But
yeah,
I mean, the point was that they were doing some speculation on Poloniex about just some kind of preliminary sort of pre-trading kind of monitoring people's how do I put it? Monitoring people's impression of buy or sell, and it's not actual trading. It's just people putting in entry points to kind of get a sense as to where they think the market will go. And they were saying they thought it would end up about 1/6 of the Bitcoin Cash price at present market, with a very, very low amount of volume and no liquidity. So whatever that means, I don't know how they did that, but it's an interesting experiment. But I don't see the value of a Bitcoin Cash fork, because I'm not seeing that there's this new set of amazing services that allows me to spend money in yet a different way, other than with new technical protocols, which frankly most of us don't get, including me.
Yeah, exactly. So the many people on Twitter are calling Craig the fake Satoshi and are lashing out against this fork. So
I'm calling him the wrong Satoshi, but not the
wrong. Maybe that will catch along a little bit better than
hashtag the wrong Satoshi. Yeah,
that's not my Satoshi.
I'm going to make sure that when we tweet about this article, we're going to I'm going to make a note of this. Hashtag the wrong Satoshi.
Wrong Satoshi.
Down so I don't forget.
Yeah,
I will forget to go back and watch the episode now.
But for the listeners, don't forget the fork is supposed to happen on November 12th at 5:00 UTC.
Oh, did I say November 15th? Didn't I? No, is it November 12th?
Oh, now I have to double check now. I could have sworn I saw November 12th. Wait, let's double check.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was incorrect. November 15th, you were correct. November 15th, I got the time right. 5:00 UTC. So November 15th.
So our recommendation is get your coins moved wherever you want to move them.
Yeah.
And make sure you have your private keys. Whatever you want to do, make sure you've got private keys. Make sure your stuff's all backed up and secure. Make sure you know where you're going to put your coins. Do it by Monday or Tuesday, because there's no point in waiting, because if the network clogs up and everyone decides to jump on this bandwagon for some freebies, well, of course, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Now, there is one thing I will say, Yuri, actually to support your idea being better than mine, which is, well, to be fair, if the coin forks and you want to immediately sell it, you have to be on exchange to do that. So there's some merit that your idea might be better than mine.
Right. In that, you're right. If you want to flip it quickly and take advantage.
Because, for me, if I get the coins forked on their wallet, I still have to wire transfer them or send them, to Binance, for example, and wait for it to confirm, which could take an hour. And in that hour, the coin could have dropped 80%, and I'll be like, oh my God, I might have been able to get it, whatever. Or it might be up 200%, and I'll be so glad that I was delayed an hour. So all are possible outcomes, including that the fork doesn't happen at all. So let us know what you think down in the description below on YouTube. Let us know, do you think Bitcoin Cash is actually going to fork? Do you think that Craig Wright is wrong? Or do you think he's actually Satoshi Nakamoto Aussie version?
Exactly. Aussie Satoshi.
Yeah. So do let us know what you think. Of course, on your way out, please do subscribe to our show if you haven't already. Give us a like, because we like likes. Don't forget to hit the little alert buttons on the different channels, and let us, just keep on telling you what's happening in crypto. And have a great weekend. To the moon. Until next time.